Hello there, welcome to this course. Let us go and create a full stack web application in ASP.NET Core. In this course, you will learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, C#, Entity Framework, and SQL. Open Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. Then click on Create a new project. Type here ASP.NET Core Web App. Then select the one with the Model View Controller. You have also the same project with F#, but we are going to use C#. Click on Next. In this application, we register a new customer or a new user. We get the list of all customers or all users, display the profile of each user, and then update each user. Customer Manager. Select the project location, new folder, Customer Manager. Select the folder. Because a solution can contain multiple projects, it is best practice to give your solution name another name, a name different than your project name, so that you can distinguish between your projects and your solution. So I add the word app in the solution name. Then click on Next. You can select the .NET Framework version. Here you have the long-term support and the standard term support. I go with the long-term support. For now, we don't add authentication in this application. Configure for HTTPS. If you want, you can change these settings later. Do not use top-level statements. The difference between top-level statement and normal statement is that in top-level statement, .NET hides or abstracts the extra things about the main method in a class. So you don't see the main method in a class in your C# files. Click on Create. It is not necessary that I explain each one of these folders one by one. During this course, you will understand and learn all of them in practice. It is best practice to add to source control just in case you make some mistakes so that you can go back. So add to source control, use get. For now, local only. The get ignore the default Visual Studio, it is okay. Add a readme and then create. We keep the master as it is as a template for a new project. Version 1.1 based on the master, so that we have the master on this. In case we make any mistake in this branch, we can go back to master and then create another branch and then work on it. Create. Beautiful. Click on run to see how it looks like for the first time. By default, in this template, you have the name of your project. It is like your logo. And then here you have the home button. Then you have privacy page. Stop it. Let us create some views. Right click on views folder. Add the new folder. Call it customer. Inside the customer, we create two more views. Call this one new customer to register a new customer or a new user, and another one for updating the customer. Razor view empty. Add instead of index, let's call it update customer. Click on add. Very nice. We display the list of customers just inside the home, so we will update the home page. Open app settings.json. Here we need to add a connection string. Connection string customer DB. To find your connection string, Go to views and then open SQL Server Object Explorer. Here you have your SQL servers. Right click on your SQL server, then click on properties. Here is your connection string. Select all, Ctrl A, then Ctrl C to copy. Close this one, then paste it here. So here you have the data source, the name of your SQL server. You can also change this one to just say server dot means in this machine, if it is in this machine. If it is somewhere else in the cloud in another network, then you can give the address here. But for me, it is in the same machine, in the same computer. So if I use dot here, it will be no problem. Then add here your database name, database, and then the name. Let us say I call it customer DB. This database does not exist yet. When you create your database context and then your tables and etc., when you run the migration, it will generate the database. It will generate all the tables. You will see everything in a minute. Save it. Now let us go and create a database context. Here we need another folder. Right click on your project name and then add new folder, call it data, and then inside of this add a new class, then call it app db context. Enter. Right click on your project name, then go to manage NuGet packages, then type here entity framework core, Microsoft.entity framework core. About selecting the version, it is very important that you select the version that matches the version of .NET framework you selected during the creation of this project. So we selected .NET 6, so we have to also select here a version that is 6 and not above 6. The version 7 you see here, it is for .NET 7. If you select it, you will get error. So we have to select it the latest version of 6. So 6.2.23. Click on install, click on apply, accept it. Everything is okay so far. Close it. Now this class has to inherit from DB context. So add colon and then DB context. So it is part of entity framework core. Public app DB context, DB context options. The options you get here, you have to pass it to the superclass or to the class that this class is inherited from, which is DB context. Now we can use this inside the program.cs. You have to add here a service, builder.services.add db context, app db context, so it imported automatically. Options.use SQL server. We are getting error because we need another library. Right click on your project at manage NuGet packages. We need in the entity framework core dot tools. Install, apply, accept it. Also install the SQL server. Click on install, accept it, and also the entity framework core dot design. Click on install, apply, I accept it, close it. Now you have the option SQL server. Here we need to access these settings. Builder dot configuration dot get connection string. Here the name of the connection string was customer DB. Save it. This way you can access any settings in your program.cs, then inject any service that you want to run this way. I prefer to put everything related to the data inside the data folder. You have two kinds of models. You have view models and you have data models. For example, your database tables. I want to put this also under the data. So right click on the data folder, new folder, call it data models, and then right click on that, a new class, customer model, enter, and here we define the customer table columns. Public ID, I want the ID to be uppercase. Here you need some data annotation, so you can use a square bracket. For example, this key data annotation, make this column the primary column of this table. Using this, then we need the customer name, public string name, public string email, public string address, local address, public string, we call it job title, phone, public string password, then public boolean is active, is this user active or not, public boolean is admin or not. You can also specify the maximum length for each column, the type name, and etc. Let us do it. We make this the max length to be for the name 100, and then the column, and then the type name in var char 100. Save it. It is best practice to specify the maximum length of each column, otherwise it will take a huge amount of space and that is not efficient. This way you also save some spaces in your storage device. Some types have already specified size. For example, numbers have already specified size. So for those types, you don't have to specify the maximum length or something. But for a string, it is very good that you specify the maximum length. You also need to add the created date and modified date. So the created date is also like the registered date. Specify the column type here manually, otherwise it will take it as date and it does not contain that time. This way you can define the default value for any column. Copy this one also for the birth date. You can also make a column optional by adding just a question mark. For example, a customer must have name, email, and password, and the rest are just optional if they fill the form completely or not, but they have to fill the name, the email address, and the password. If you hover over this like warning, it says that non-nullable property email must contain a non-null value when exiting constructor. Consider declaring the property as nullable. So this question mark also make it nullable. For the birthday, we do not provide a default value, so just leave it like this and make it optional. To manage the migration files, I think it is best to create another folder for the migration files and call it migrations. Now jump to the app.db context. Here type public db set the name of your table model, customer model, and then call it customers. Now it is time to run the migration. Go to the tools, NuGet package manager console. Here type add migration and then the name of your migration, initial, for example. Let's see. So it created the database with this table. Here you can change some stuff. We set the address nullable, so it is nullable true. So you also see here the maximum length with Marcus. Why it is Marcus? So we don't let these things to be Marcus. Add this thing also for the other columns. Control C. For the email, we want also 100 characters. For the name, it is not necessary to be 100 characters. The name maximum 50 characters. So the phone number is normally maximum 18 characters, but we let it to be 30 characters. In many countries, it is 10 characters or 12 characters. But in some countries it goes up to 18 characters. We can generate another migration, or we can modify this migration and then update that database. So instead of doing it manually, I want to remove the initial migration and then regenerate the migration. Remove migration and then enter. It automatically detects the last migration and it removes that. Clear the console, run it again, add migration and then name it initial, the output directory, data migrations. Enter. Let us check what it generated. For the active and is admin, by default we say that it is non-admin and then we say that it is active. Because we modified the model here, we had it true and false. We can also bring that changes here. So is active is the default value true, and then is admin the default value is false. Save it and now run update database and enter. It will generate the database and the table for us. So it is done successfully. Let us check it out. Close the console, close the migration, view SQL Server Object Explorer, refresh this databases. Now here we have customer DB, expand this, tables, and then here we have two tables. One table is about the migration and another one is the table that we need. You can view the data. Now it has nothing, but we just want to see the columns. Beautiful. Now let us work on the user interface. H3. For the view model, inside the model create another model, class, home view model, add. Inside the home view model, we return at least the list of customers. Public, this is a list. Customer model, customer list. Add model, home view model. And then here we create a table. Provide also a paragraph. then table head, open a row, number sign for the ID, full name. When you are in a line, use Ctrl C and then Ctrl V to copy paste that line without selecting and then copy pasting. Address, phone, job title, register, date. The last one is the delete, view, update, birthday. Then you have table body. For the content of table body, we are going to use a loop to loop through the list of customers. Where customer in model dot customer list. Here we are going to create tr, td, customer dot id, control C, control V, customer dot name, customer dot email, customer dot address, customer dot phone, customer dot job title, and then this one is the created date, birthday, year update, control C in that one and then control V. Here provide some classes, make this one look red, make this one look green, and make this one look danger. As you see, it is already using Bootstrap. If you know Bootstrap, you can use all the Bootstrap classes, like you also have background danger or danger and etc. Then give this a class customer table. When click happens on update, it has to go to a link, so we have to create here also a link, or let us use HTML helper action link. The text for the action link, update, and then the name of the action. We have to create a controller for that. We call it update customer, and the name of the controller is going to be customer. Then the route values, we should pass here the ID, and then use the customer dot ID, and then null for the rest. Copy this one, paste it here, change this to view, change this to view customer profile. In the customer with the ID, delete, give it an ID. We are going to delete this immediately. So customer dot ID. When click happens on this, we read the ID and then we make a request to the backend to delete this. For the two other links, we are doing this this way, using the link. If they are not clear, don't worry, later everything will be clear. So update customer, here we need to create some stuff just for now. model customer view model. So bring this stuff from here, Control C, customer view model, Control V. So this stuff are not necessary. We do need the modified date because we will set it in the backend, no problem. When you use forum, you can set there the maximum length, so we don't have to use it here. Customer view model. Open a forum. Input type text is very important to give the name. Name is name. Value model dot name. Make it required. For the required stuff, we also add here like this character. So max length 50. Control C. Email, and then here this one, change it to email, and the length for the email was 100 characters. Address, we let the type to be also email. Address is 100 characters. Copy this one, paste it again. So this one is not required, remove that. Address is not required. This one is also not required. Phone number 30 characters, not required. Phone. So the name value must match the attribute name. The attribute name in your class. This is the model that we will use when getting the data or updating the data, viewing the data. So it has to match these attributes. For the view model, it doesn't matter. You can give it whatever you want. When you work on the database, it has to match these names. Phone number, and then this one should be phone. Password is required. Password length is 20. Is active. We should provide here selected. Selected name is active, and then here option value true, yes, no, false. Control C is admin, change that to admin, yes or no, yes or no. Birthday, type date and time, name birthday. This one is not required anymore. For the input type, submit. Value, let's say update. So when update happens, when you click on that, we want to send this form to the server and update that data. Method post action update customer, then in type URL encoded. Let's go ahead and create a controller. Right click on the controller folder, then controller. In here you have MVC controller with read and write action. You have MVC controller with views using entity framework. MVC controller with read and write actions. Customer controller. Click on add. So it generated already some stuff. This one we want to change it to update customer. Change this to view customer profile. So the action name also has to match the view names. So the customer, new customer, update customer. So I want this one to be new customer. Customer model, call it new customer. Customer model, customer. We send a request with just the ID of the customer that needs to be deleted. We actually do not delete any data. You never delete any data from your database. You just set the column deleted or is deleted to true or false. Control C, Control V, Control V, because this is a part of the documentation, so it has to be corrected. Let us run the application to check if everything is okay or not. Error. So we stop it. Go inside the home controller. Customer model. List new customer model. This part is not necessary in the new versions. Create here just a fake customer for now. Later we will get everything from the database. Customer model, new customer. Here let us provide some name. Akianu's YouTube channel. And the one that is really necessary, so email, just a fake email. Akianus at akianus.com. Password. And then home view model. Home view model dot customer list is set to list. Then pass here home view model. Now run it. So for now it looks like this. Welcome list of all registered customers. Below you find blah blah blah. So this is our fake table. Let's go and work on CSS to make it look a little bit like table, So here we have some stuff about the Bootstrap. I am already the king of CSS and JavaScript, so delete. We have our CSS here. Let's make it border 1 pixel solid black, border collapse th and td. Because we removed the Bootstrap and jQuery, you have to go and also remove the link, otherwise you get error. So that is inside the layout. We'll modify this as well. So you have here the jQuery, the Bootstrap bundle. You can inject your own JavaScript this way. And here the CSS. Here is the Bootstrap. Let us try it again. Use Ctrl Shift R to reload the page and also clear the caches. So this one is like the footer. We will style the footer differently. So now the table looks like table. Let us add more stuff in the CSS about the table. So padding 5 pixels. Let us work here because it looks like crazy now. This one acts like a logo, so I change it to Okeanos. So these classes mean nothing because we removed the Bootstrap. We display this like flakes. We add margin and 10 pixel. We create in that class here dot flakes display flakes dot margin and 10. So margin right 10 pixels. HDR top HDR top. Let us give it padding 5 pixels. Background 00 50 50, and the color we want it to be white. HDR top any link inside the header also should have the color white. And text decoration none. Text decoration none. So this whole thing also display flakes. This one also margin and 10. Dot green color green. So we also had danger. Copy all of this. Now this time they work fine. Also, when it is linked, we have to remove the underline. So text decoration none. Copy it, rerun the project. Now it is okay. Dot footer, the same background as header. Body should have no margin. Margin 0 and also padding 0. And then font family, I like Verdana. And then font size to be 17 pixel all the time. Footer A should have this style. Rerun to check. Now we see it is much better. Now the footer is like in the middle of the page. That's not what we want. When the list is full, it will come down. So don't worry about that. Very nice. Make the footer padding 20 and the top header padding 50, and the footer also should have like margin top 50 pixels, and then also the table, Control C, table width to be 100% and table height to be auto. Now it looks better. Make it logo. Use a dot logo, otherwise it will not work. So this is about CSS specificity hierarchy. Color, let us see how this looks like. If you don't know so much CSS, I have a full course about CSS. There you will learn everything about CSS from zero to hero, from very basics to very advanced. So this color, it looks okay for now. You also should provide a big button here for registering a new customer. Stop this. Call it register href customer, and then the name of the action, new customer. HTTP get. Actually this is absolutely not necessary, so when you do not provide anything, it will just return this view. So new customer, register button, you have to style it, not register btn, position fixed, top for now 100 pixels, Right, 50 pixels, padding 10 pixels, border radius 8 pixels, background green, register button link. Instead of using this over and over again, let us just add this here, so it will work. Let us see. So this is the register button. So when we click, it has to go there and return that view. Let us test it. So new customer. This is like the same as update customer, but with another action. Control C, Control V. We are not providing any value here, so change this to add. And the action is just new customer. Input type number, name ID. It is also provide a value model.id. Control C, Control V, change this just to ID. This one is hidden, so class hidden. We should create here the class hidden. Display none. So here you can create a new customer or register a new customer. Create or register a new customer. Let us go ahead and see if we come to that page or not. Voila. Here you can create or register a new customer. First name, email and password not required. Here you have the active and etc. So this form should be a little bit nicer, you know. Now it looks like very simple. So forum, we want the forum to have some margin. Margin top, bottom, right, left 10 pixels, so that it is not so much closer to the window border. And then the forum label should have font weight bold, and then you have the forum input. You can just use input, but I like to also add the forum input with 100%, like a little bit padding 3 pixels, border by default 1 pixel solid. Let us use this one. So forum input focus, the input that has focus should have another border or outline 1 pixel solid gold, and the one with the submit, so forum input type equals to submit. We want it to look differently. We give it a background of green and color of white. Padding, let us give it 10 pixels and see. And then border radius 5 pixels. Okay, register. The inputs should also have a margin top so that they are not so close to the labels. Now when it has focus, it should not have border. That is one thing. 100 pixels, and then float right, and then margin top, it is say 7 pixels, and with the focus border none. Now it comes here. Cursor should be pointer. One thing, another thing, the label should have margin top. Margin top, let us say 10 pixels. And also the select should have margin top. So forum select margin top 7 pixels, and then width, let us say 100 pixels, padding 5 pixels. Actually we should say call this label class LBL. Add this to all of them because we cannot give margin to label. It does not work. forum.lbl. Now it will work. Register. Now it's okay. So this button should have also margin top and right. Margin right, say 20 pixels, and then margin top, say 30 pixels. Now if you try to submit, it says please fill out this field. So this is crazy about this button, that now it jumped out of it is a parent, So let us give the forum height 110%. See what is its problem. The solution is to call this div element submit. Class name submit. Display flex direction row, justify content flex end. It looks much better. So let us put the forum inside another section. Control V again. Class name, call it forum holder. Then come here, dot forum holder say margin auto minimum width max width justify content center. Now it looks like this. So these select elements also should have the same border and the same outline. Border, Control C, forum select focus. Okay, nice. Let us make the select wider, like 150. So it was the new customer forum. We have to do like the same with the update forum. First bring this LBL class to all of the update labels. Copy this for the update page, view page, and also for the new customer. Control C. We need another view for viewing the customer. Control A, Control C. In the customer, add view, reserve view empty, and then call it view customer profile. Select all, delete them. So in the profile, we are not going to submit anything. We don't need any forum or something. We say here, this is your profile, mister. What can you say? Mirrors or this one? We don't need any input here. So this one should be a huge title, like the name of the person. So that is the full name. Profile header. It is not necessary to display the password. I am a job title. This way you can programmatically inject it and do stuff in your HTML. So inside the customer controller, you have to create also this model the same way we did inside the home controller, like this. It does not need to have a default value. And also remove this one, remove this one. New customer view model. So we have to inject some stuff just for an example. Tom Cruise, email tom.cruise at cruise.com. So phone, okay, United States, okay, this is the number of Tom Cruise. Address, New York City, US. Created date not now. Is active, true. Is admin, false. Poor guy has no access to the system. Birthday, new date and time, the year, the month, the day is say 29 0 30 45. Then the ID, the job title, actor. So in order to make it work, you have to pass here an ID. Go to the home controller, inside the index, add also here an ID so that you get the ID in the home page. Let us run. Now if you hover over view, you see here in this corner customer/view customer profile and then 1. When you click on that, you come to this page. This is Tom Cruise, email, number, address. I am an actor. It is actually an actor. The customer is active, yes. Is admin, no. Birthday, register date is today. We will style this later. First, because now we are just working with examples, we have to create actual user or register new customer or new user, and then read from the database, get a list of users, view them, and etc. So you see that the view is working fine. You can go back to home, and then if you update, you get error. Just copy paste this one just as an example. Control V, return the view with this model. Rerun. This time you click and update it. You get no error. You can update. So update. By default, the selected item in this selected is the first item or the first option. But we have to do it programmatically so that it happens according to the value of the is active and is admin. If it is active, we want that it appears yes, otherwise no. And the same way for admin. So the best solution for selecting the correct option in this selected element is to use the ASP for attribute and set here the name of property in your model. Then based on the value of the is active, this attribute, it will select the correct option. As you can see here, is active was true, so it is yes. Is admin was false, which is no. The type of this is not okay. Let us see what is wrong. input type date and time, name, birthday. But normally this has to be a date picker, you know. If you use control and space, you see all the options. So you have all these options. When you change this to date, it will work. When it is only date, it works. You can select here a date. Let us try it with only date and see if we get any error or not. So we stop this. We have to do some stuff for the customer model. We return to the new page. So when you click on done and everything is okay, we return the user to the home page. If there is something wrong, we return the user to the same page, also with a new message. Access the database. All your view controllers have access to the database context. How you can access the database context? In your constructor, pass here the DB context, app DB context. Here create a private field or private property, appdb context. Here we can use the context to add new stuff to the table. Customer model, customer, new customer, and then here we can just copy the new customer to the customer, and then we use the context dot customers dot add customer, and then we save the changes. Return redirected. So it will redirect it to home if everything is okay. If there is something wrong, we get the error here, exception. So you have view data and also view back. We said here view back dot error message ex dot message. Save it and go to the new page, and then here get the message string error. So view back dot error message, if string dot is null or empty, pass here the error. When it is null or empty, it returns true. We turn it to false, so we don't need it. But if it is not null and not empty, it will return false. We turn this to true because we want to display the error to the user. Also the color red. Save it and then run. Let us see. Laura Gaura. Email Laura dot. Then we will see what we will get. Add, and it says this location does not exist. Change this to customer. You can also specify this specifically, saying ASP action new customer, and then ASP controller customer. Stop it. This time it worked. let us go and see inside the database, refresh it. Database, customer DB table, customers view data. Now here we have the Laura. And this way, inside the home controller, we want to access and then return this user instead of that. So go to the home controller inside the index. Now we are generating a custom crazy customer, but we can now read the database. So remove this. You can say list dot add range, and here the same way as the customer controller, copy this, Control C. What we need is this one, Control X, Control X. Now this time make it read only, and then Control X. This one, remove this. Contact dot customers dot all the customers that are active. So we are is active. So let us try to add another one. Now we expected to see the new customer inside the homepage. Voila. Laura and Daura, this email address. We did not add any phone, teacher, the job title, and in this we can now view. Inside the view we also have to update now. Now we have a user, customer model, it is named customer, and then from the database context dot customers dot where e dot id is the same as the id, first or default. So it will return the first element or null. So if customer set view model, we say view model, new view model. So when it is not null, we set all the values of customer to the view model. So view model dot name, customer dot name, dot email, change to email, phone, you have to return the customer model directly inside the view. So inside the update, instead of saying this, let us say customer model. So use customer model instead of customer view model, and then this line of code to reference this class to this view. Save it and then go back to the update, and here instead of returning this one, we don't need this anymore. Customer model, customer, and then contact is customer first or default, and then if x the id is equal to the id, and then return the customer. run. So update. Here we forgot to add the phone number into this page, and also it cannot render the birthday. Stop it. Email, copy paste this one for the phone number. Control C, Control V, phone. Then the value for date time, we select in here date time, so only select a date. The same thing about this, you have to bring the phone also here. So Control C. In the new customer we need also the phone number. Change in the name as well to phone. Type is not email, type is text. Let us see inside the view profile. View profile. A small change in the CSS for just now. .lbl font weight bold, and also profile HDR. Control C. Font size 50 pixels, and then font weight bold HR. From div margin top 10 pixels. So let us view. Birthday is not showing actually. Sign the new customer. Remove this one. Remove this one because we don't have any model inside the new customer. Peter meter. Password is active, yes. Is admin, no. And the birthday, and then add. So we come here in this breakpoint. Let us see what is inside this new customer. So the address, the birthday is this. It looks okay. Created date is today. The email, the ID, this. Okay, use F5 to get out of this. So it come to home. Now inside the home we also see immediately the new customer. Very nice. Display only that date part. Now if we view, we should view Peter meter email. I am a businessman. Is that mean? It says no, but it is active. Why it says no? Inside the home we say return only if the user is active. Customer controller. View is admin customer dot admin. View dot is active customer dot active. Rerun. Now view customer is active, yes. Admin, no. Birthday. Let us take care of the date and time formatting. Let us make it to a string dot split, and then here use the character that you want to split, that is normally t. There is t character between the date and the time to separate the date and the time, so we use that to split the date. Control C, Control V. You also need that inside the home page. So views home index. There is also something, if there is no birthday it will throw error, so this one is okay. We have the created date. Control X. Use here if statement. If customer their birthday has any value is not null, else just empty. Dot split in this one, so actually it returns array. Take the first one, the same way inside the view profile it returns array. Take the first part. Oh damn you. Rerun. So it did not work at all. Why it did not work at all? There is also a small error inside the layout. So this customer manager style, the CSS, it cannot find it. Remove it. So the T did not work. Use white space, and white space. Now it is rendered at the left side. I want that the content comes in the center. Customer table TD. Text align center. Let us go and update this user and also add phone number. New customer, we don't need this breakpoint. Redirect it to home. Customer model, customer to update. Context dot customer dot first or default e.id customer.id. If customer to update is not null, sometimes in .NET you have to set each property manually, but sometimes it works that you set the whole object to another object. And let us try to set the object to the new object. We have to save. Otherwise, if there is any error, exception, so the same way as this one. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, save it. Here we have to set the modified date to the current date. Let us also add Tom Cruise. Active yes, admin no, birthday 0101 add. So now we have Tom Cruise. Here customer update, remove this and replace ASP action. The action is update customer and ASP controller customer. Save it. Update. Probably have noticed that this select does not work for now. Okay, it did not work. Congratulations. Stop it. You have to set every property manually. String date, the model dot birthday dot value dot year, concatenate with this, and then use this also for the month and the day. Dot month dot day. Let us try it. Because it needs 2 digits. Now we provide just 1 but it needs 0101. Integer month control X. If month is greater than 9, we return the month. Otherwise, we concatenate a 0 with the month. So the same thing for the day. Day greater than 9, the day. Otherwise, concatenate 0 with the day. Now you see it works. If there is no value for the birthday, it will be a problem. String date. If model dot birthday is not null, this one is not necessary anymore. There is also something very important. It only accepts the property that is changed. If you set the property that did not change, you will get error. So we have to also check manually one by one if it is changed or not. Not equal to the customer.name. We set that. Change in the name to email. Oh damn you. And then next time change it to address. Control H, change this one to the birthday. So name, email address, phone, job title, password is active, birthday is admin, and of course the modified date. The birthday. So now we can update, we can view like a profile. And now the delete. Inside the delete, we make a request from JavaScript to this action. Try catch, exception. We will be on the same view. Now if you say return view, it will return to this view, like delete view inside this controller, which is customer. but we don't have this view. I want to show you something different that you can use JavaScript. And here we check if any customer or user exists with this ID or not. Customer model, customer context dot customer dot first or default. If it is not null, and then customers dot remove customer, and then save changes. If any error happens here, it will come to the catch part, and then we will see the error message. We need this also in the home page. Very nice. We create here a function, call it delete item. We get the event, we get the ID of the item, event dot target dot get attribute, and then the name of the attribute, which is ID. We make a post request to this customer controller, make it http delete fetch. We can concatenate here the ID method delete. We return the response.json console.log the value, and then finally catch the error console.log. You have also console.error, but I don't like the console.error, all the red color. We receive here JSON, but here we are just redirecting, so we don't need to redirect it. We need to return JSON. For example, here we say deleted successfully, but this is still not a JSON. Let us create a simple object for the view. Request MSG, enter public string message. Request MSG dot message set to deleted successfully, and then return JSON request MSG. This is an object, could not delete the item. This will remove the customer completely from the table. Instead, we should set the customer to deleted, false or true. Let us add another column deleted, and then do the migration. It also will help you to learn how to do it. So comment this out, save it, go to the customer model, and here copy this and paste this. Is deleted by default false, and then because we change in this model, it means that the database table is changed, so we have to run the migration, otherwise we will get error. We have to go to the tools, NuGet package manager console, and then here add migration, the name of the migration, okay, it was good. And now update database. Very nice. Close, we don't need that. Close it. the customer dot is deleted to true, and inside the home, as we should do something as well, we are active is true, and e dot is deleted, so only active user and not deleted. We have to actually use this function. So on click, so we have to also pass here the event. First we have to console log if we get anything, console.log click event. About this keyword validate anti forgery token, it is kind of for filtering the malicious requests. You can read more about this via this link. I will put this link in the description of this video. When you make a request from inside CS/HTML, for example using a form, it is okay. But if you make a request from JavaScript, like here, using fetch for example, it does not work. So for it to make work, you have to provide a special token. How can you do that? This way you can inject any component or any library in your CS/HTML. Here we get the token. So from anti-forgery dot get and store tokens from this context dot request token. So I store this token as an attribute in this HTML tag. Then you can get that token using JavaScript event.target.get attribute data token. This is the name of the attribute, and then you have to pass this in the header of the request. So make sure to add this. I tried this multiple times, it was not working, so I added this stuff. I tested, now it works very fine. This is one solution for the validation. Another solution is to say here ignore anti-forgery token. You have also ignore anti-forgery token, but it is not necessary. We can get the token and then pass the token. It is more secure. So that is something that you should change in your code in order to make it work. So this was for the delete part. Let us test. Let us delete the first customer. Okay, 200, but we did not refresh. If it was okay, we should kinda refresh the page so that we see the correct data. And also we have to display a pop-up. Are you sure you want to delete? Let us do that. Let us create a custom alert. So section, it has a header h3, for example warning, and then a paragraph. Are you sure you want to delete this customer? And then here we provide yes and no buttons. So button no, and then button yes. Let's give it a class for styling action section. On click, we add here another function call it positive alert. If it is positive, do this. We store the ID and the token here, so it should be lit. It is called it active ID. And also token, we set the token here, we set the active ID here, display the custom alert, create another function, call it negative alert. So here hide custom alert. So here active ID, we get here the custom alert document dot query selector dot custom alert, and here we display that. So custom alert dot class list dot remove hidden, control C in the negative, we said in that to add hidden, control C, on click positive alert. This one also should be flex and also should have padding x 20 pixels, padding left and right 20 pixels, and then justify between, control C inside the CSS. So position fixed, top 40%, left. For the left we have to actually calculate width 300 pixels, calc 50%, you want it to be at the center, minus half of the width. So half of the width is 150 pixels. We want it to have a border, instead of border, box shadow. Border radius like 9 pixels, and then box shadow. For x nothing, y nothing, we want it to be spread 3 pixels and blur 2 pixels, and the color we want it to be like gray. Let us see how it looks like for now. Now it looks like this. It is transparent. Let us make its background white. Let's give it padding 3 pixels. Dot px 20, padding top and bottom. Let us give it also 10 pixel, right and left we set 20 pixels. And for justify between, we have here somewhere flex. So here justify between, justify content between. You see it looks better. Dot action buttons, padding like 3 pixels, padding top and bottom 2 pixels, right and left 5 pixels, cursor pointer. So let us make it hidden. If I say delete, it says, are you sure you want to delete this customer? So let us delete Tom Cruise. Say yes. So here, when we get a positive answer from backend, window.document.location.reload, it automatically sets the custom alert to hidden, so the default value. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. So it got refreshed. Normally when you delete someone, you have to set it also to not active. So here is active to false. View SQL Server Object Explorer, SQL in Database, Customer DB, Tables, View Data. We have our data here, but we do not see it in the user interface because it is deleted. Let us register one more user. Let us register Bill Gates. Bill.Gates at Microsoft.com. The phone number. So a rich guy has longer phone number. DC, US, job title, businessman, password. So he knows about IT. He gives a strong password. His active, yes, is admin. We make the guy admin. So the day 01 1935. For example, I have no clue. This is just an example. Okay, add. Let us view Bill Gates, businessman, the phone number, address. Let's go back to home. We can update, for example, update the phone to something like this. Not admin anymore. Update. Let us add two more people. For example, Elon Musk. Elon.musk at x.com, and the phone number +1. Address is New York City, US. Job title is businessman. Password is Elon. Active, yes. Admin, yes. And add. Very nice. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast.com. I don't know. Okay. Also from US. Address. Let's say yes, from Washington DC, US. Job title YouTuber. Active is admin, no. Let's say 10 12 1985. Add. Beautiful. Now we have 3 big customers and we will be rich. Let us view Elon Musk and the details. Mr. Beast, the details. Back to home. Let us delete them. Are you sure you want to delete this customer? Yes. Delete also Mr. Beast. Delete. Yes. 150 pixels margin top for the footer. Because we don't have so much content, we see it here. If you have more content, it will come down and down and down. 450. To make a pretty attractive website, all what you need to know is CSS. This was a beginner's course just to show you how to create a full stack website in ASP.NET Core MVC. I hope it was helpful. I really hope that you understood that working with ASP.NET Core MVC is not that difficult. It is very easy. It is very simple. I hope you learned everything I tried to teach you, like how to create multiple pages, how to navigate between pages. We have created different pages like update page, view page or profile page, how to make requests using forum, how to make requests using pure JavaScript, how to style your website, how to create custom alert, how to work with entity framework, how to work with database, how to create models, how to do the migration, getting data from the database, updating data, and all the CRUD operations. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope it was helpful. Hopefully see you in the next video. Have great times.